everybody. Good morning. Y'all have your coffee. I have my tea. I don't know if it's the travel, if it's the holidays, if it's family, but I'm coming down with a little bit of something. So if you see me pause and take a sip of my tea, that's why. Kato will probably be inching his way into the screen just because I've been gone all day doing things. So let's get started. Everybody find a spot on your mat. I'm going to start with sitting on my shins rather than cross-legged, just to get my quads a little bit stretched out and warmed up. So just finding a comfortable seat, whether that's on your shins or whether that's Indian style. Bringing our eyes to a close and settling in. We're still in this transition between our Christmas and the New Year, with that being a lot of probably family visiting, a lot of friend visiting, travel maybe, and just a lot of commotion internally and externally. So just taking this moment to sit right where you are. Paying attention to your breath, noticing whether or not the breath is full and you're taking it deep into your belly, or if it's shallow and it's sitting closer up to the top of your chest. If there's any tension anywhere. And after you've brought that awareness, now bringing the intention to lengthen the breath and have it fill the belly. So on an inhale, expanding through the belly, opening up the rib cage, lifting through the head, sitting tall. Exhale, the weight of the breath moves back through the body, the belly and the ribs draw in. And just taking a few breaths there. Matching your inhale and your exhale. Doing that by maybe counting to 4 or 5 on the inhale and then matching that number on the exhale. Blinking the eyes open if you were up on your shins, coming down to the Indian style if you were there before, staying there. And we're going to place our left hand on our right knee, our right hand behind us, sitting up nice and tall on an inhale. Exhale, keeping that left hip grounded on the mat, coming into a bit of a twist. Breathing in and feeling the ringing out through the abdomen, through the belly. Twisting can also help aid in this digestion component, whether that's you're out of your routine of what you normally eat because of the holidays, or you've just had those scrumptious cookies or things. This can help with the digestion. Sitting up nice and tall on an inhale, exhale back to center and switching sides, bringing the right hand across the body, left hand behind you, sitting up nice and tall, and then pulling into a twist on the opposite side. Actually taking the imagery of a dirty dish rag and how it would be if you did the wringing out of it, the twisting of it, and taking that image into what you're doing here through the twist, because this class we will be doing quite a few twists. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, come back to center. And then go ahead and open the legs into this wide leg seated position. Moving the coffee or the tea, whatever you have with you, into a spot where you can take a sip. Seated here, we're going to drop the right arm inside the right leg. So we're just going to drop down in, and we're going to take that left hand on the opposite leg and just try and roll that left shoulder back. Whether that's taking the gaze up towards the ceiling or arm slightly behind you to get that chest to open up. Once that chest and side has started to open up, we can lift the left arm up over the ear as if you were reaching for those right toes. Feeling the pull from the left hip out through the fingertips. Gaze can be straight forward or it can be up through the crease of the elbow. Strong inhale there. Exhale, lower the hands down to meet each other, and then bring the right hand behind, similar to before, and bringing the left hand to the shin. We're slightly forward, but we're going to work this twist from a forward position, similar to before. Your hand can be placed closer up towards the knee, the thigh if you want to sit up straight. But for me, to change a little bit of the twist, I'm just leaning forward slightly and my hands down along the outside of my right shin. Inhale there. Exhale, come back up towards center. And this time, taking the left arm inside the left leg, dropping that in. And I'm just going to take a moment here with my right hand on my thigh just to pause and breathe and introduce my body to this side bend. We had Monday and Tuesday with the gym being closed, and maybe we've taken this time to let our bodies have a little bit of a rest, to enjoy the company of family, the downtime, the movie marathons, whatever it is you did. So just kind of easing into movement today. Rolling open through the chest. I'm going to take the weight of my arm just behind me. And then I'm going to inhale, bring my arm up over my ear like I'm reaching for my toes. I'm going to take my gaze up through the crease of my elbow towards the ceiling. Breathing deep. Lower the right hand to meet the left And then take the left hand behind you like before. Right hand crosses fully and finds the outside of the left shin. So we're leaning slightly forward in this twist. This helps my chest become square to my left leg, and I can feel my rib cage moving towards the back of the room. You can play and change with how far you are in your stretch. If you bring your hand closer to your foot, or if you bring your hand further up along the thigh and twist from a more upright position. Inhale strong there. Exhale, come back up towards center. Sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, walk the fingertips forward. Coming to wherever you are. If those fingertips are just walking forward, toes are pointed straight towards the ceiling. I know you can't see mine, but my toes are just pointed directly up. My feet aren't folding in or rolling back. Helps keep my quads aligned. And wherever I'm at, if I can come down to my forearms, if I'm on my elbows, or if I'm just up on my fingertips, wherever I land, and feel that stretch out through the back of the thighs and the inner thigh. Inhale, sit up, and then exhale, walk those fingers a little bit further forward. Maybe now feeling this pull down along the back as your hips try and root into the mat. Good, sitting up. And then drawing the soles of the feet together in the center, creating this diamond shaped position. And you can play with how far your heels are from your center. So you can draw them in close or bring them further out. We're going to inhale, extend straight through the spine. And then exhale, fold round through, bringing the forehead towards the feet. Forearms can be tucked in to help us round down through. Pulling gently on the feet to pull our forehead down, or the forearms can come out along the shins and the knees to push down in the legs as you roll forward. Opening up through the hips, through the back, through the neck, allowing that weight of the head to just drop forward. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale. And then find our way to all fours. So our hands are just shoulder width apart. Shoulders are just over the wrist. Knees are hip width apart. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, lower the belly down. Exhale, round and push through, pushing the hands into the floor. And then working at the pace of your own breath, back and forth. Inhale, and then exhale, round. Pause in the center, take a look at your hands and feet, and go ahead and step the right foot forward, walking the hands up onto that right thigh and sitting into that hip flexor stretch. So we're sitting tall through the upper body as we drop the weight forward, keeping the right knee in line with the right ankle, just behind the toes. Inhale the left arm up, and then allow the left arm, similar to before, to just curl over like we were in that wide leg position, like you're reaching towards the opposite side, over the right side, and out, stretching through the whole left body. Inhale, come up, exhale, lower the left arm, and then curl through the left toes behind and sink back over the left leg, raising the right toes towards the ceiling, coming into a hamstring stretch on that right leg. Chest is nice and drawn forward. Breathing here, finding if you need to sink a little further back into that stretch. And then we're going to take some movement back and forth, moving from the hip flexor stretch to the hamstring stretch. So we're going to inhale, lunge forward into the hip flexor stretch. And then exhale, walk the hands back, sit over the left heel, and draw the upper body down over that right leg. Inhale, come forward into a lunge. Exhale, back into the hamstring. Move at the pace of your own breath. And one more time forward. Exhaling back. Good. Coming up into that hip flexor and then drawing the right shin onto the ground, taking a moment, uncurl the toes of the left foot so both tops of the feet are on the mat, and then switch and step the left foot forward this time. Zip up through the belly and then lean your body forward into the hip flexor stretch to start, taking some time to get that static stretch, that hold to open up through the right hip. Left knee is over the left ankle, staying behind the toes. So if you find your back here and lunging forward, just move that left foot forward some and come back into the stretch. Good. Curl the toes of the back right foot up and lean into that left hamstring stretch. I'm going to take a second and just walk my left heel a little closer towards midline and get into that stretch on the left side. And playing with the difference here, if I round through my upper body versus if I really try and extend straight through that back, drawing my chest more towards my toes rather than my kneecap, and how I can feel the difference in the stretch in the back of my leg. Good. Inhale, walk the hands forward into the hip flexor. Exhale, hands back, dropping into the hamstring. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Two more times. Moving the body, getting the fluid moving out of that stagnant stage. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Draw the left knee to the mat. Bring the knees just under the hips. Hands are nice and spread, so the fingers are spread nice and wide. The weight goes through the index finger and thumb. Curl through the back toes and push up into downward facing dog. Feet walk as wide as the mat. We're going to come with a bend in the knees. Inhale, look forward to your hands, and then exhale, walk your feet just slightly forward, maybe 2 steps, and then we're going to cross the body with a stretch. So leave your left hand where it is, and you're going to cross that right hand through and under and grab a hold of the outside of your left leg. So from here, we're going to reach the right hand through, and it's going to take hold of the outside of our left leg, and we're going to take the gaze up under the armpit towards the ceiling. The right foot stays grounded on the mat. Inhale, exhale, draw more further into that stretch. Then place the right hand back forward. Left hand comes to the outside of the right shin as we pull through and take our gaze up under the right arm. Inhale there, exhale, pull further into the stretch. Then place the left hand back up towards the right and walk the hands back to the legs so you're in this forward fold. Grasp each elbow so you're hanging down the weight of your upper body, pulling down and bringing that stretch into the back of the legs. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, fold over the front legs. Bend at the knees. And inhale, pushing down through the feet, coming to a stand. Exhale the hands to the heart and go ahead and take a walk to the front of your mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, step the right leg back, leaving the knee elevated off the ground. Bring the hands up to the right, or the left quad, excuse me. Inhale, raise the arms up. Squeezing and hugging both legs into the center. right heel drawing towards the back of the room, trying to straighten out through the back leg. Slight bend is okay, and then bending further into the left leg in front. Good, drawing both hands down towards the heart, using the left hand on the thigh to draw our right elbow across our body onto the outside of the left leg, and then bringing the hands back in prayer for a twist. Pushing down with the left hand into the right hand, bringing the belly onto the left thigh. Good, both hands come down to the mat, stepping the right foot to meet the left foot. And then the left foot steps back into a high lunge. Walk the hands up onto the right thigh, pausing here. Left heels draw back, left heel draws back, straightening through the left leg. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, fingertips towards the sky. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Using the right hand on the thigh, bring the left upper arm across the body. Going to a twist on the other side. Push down through the hands. Coming further into the twist. Exhale, unwind, and walk the hands around to the left, turning the right toes to face forward so you're in a wide leg forward fold. And allow your upper body to lower down towards the mat. Inhale, part way up. Bring a slight bend into the knees. Exhale, and then inhale, come to stand. Leaving the legs wide. If you need to, just heel toeing the foot in just slightly. We're going to come into a warrior one position to start on the left hand side. So we're going to turn our left toes out. Kato's helping. Turn our left toes out, and with the right foot still with the heel on the ground in the back, we're going to turn our hips towards that left leg, and then bend into the left knee, pulling the outside part of the right foot towards the mat, and then inhaling our arms up overhead. So here the hips are trying to point straight over that left leg. So instead of our pelvis being open to the side, we're really trying to shift that over and towards the left hand side. Good, straightening through the left leg, lowering the hands to the hips, turning the left foot in, and then turning the right toes out and coming into warrior one on the opposite side. So starting with the front leg straight, turning the hips so they point over that right leg, left outer edge of the foot pulls down into the mat, legs squeeze in towards the center. Bend into the right quad, and then inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Inhale there. Exhale, bring the hands towards the heart. And then bringing the weight into the right leg, we're going to step our left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, part way up. Exhale, step both feet back into a high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, bend at the elbows, lower the chest all the way to the mat. Uncurl the feet. Let the feet come flat on the mat. Push down through the hands. Inhale up into cobra. Good, and we can either curl our toes under and push straight back into downward dog through a high plank, or coming back through over our knees and coming to a downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward at the hands, step the right foot forward. Drop the left heel in towards the center so the right heel and left heel are lined up. And then walk the right hand inside the right foot, left hand just out slightly. And then bring both hands off the mat, so you're going to support your upper body. We're going to lace the fingers, clasp the fingers behind the back like this. And we're going to lean inside our front right leg. So our hands are clasped here, and our right shoulder just drops down just inside the right knee. Activating that right quad to help us when we move into the next twist. Inhale, pull the hands further up over the head or towards the back of the head. And then exhale, hands come down. Step the right foot back to high plank. And then step the left foot forward. Right heel drops in towards the center this time. Left hand walks inside the left foot. Right hand walks slightly outside. Pause there. Drawing and pulling the left hip back. Both hands come off the ground, supporting the upper body. Clasp your hands and then draw the hands back, pulling into the shoulders as the left shoulder drops inside the left knee. Draw the hands up further. And then exhale, the hands come down to the ground, come onto the back toes. Step the left foot back into high plank, lower the knees and sit back into child's pose. Good. Both elbows drop to the ground, hands come to prayer. And then the hands come over the head towards the center of the back, stretching through the triceps. Bring the hands forward, lower the hands. Push up off the elbows and curl back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward at the hand, step the right foot forward. Left heel comes in 3 to 4 inches and the heel comes towards the center. We're going to square like we did in that Warrior One. We're going to square our hips over the right leg and then fold forward over that straight right leg. Inhale, come part of the way up out of the stretch, and we're going to bring our left hand outside of our foot, so outside of our right foot. Pause there, taking small movements to get into this pose. Good, bring the right hand off the mat, find the right hip with the right hand, and pushing with the hand on the outside of the foot, trying to open our chest over the right quad. Good, and then if we want, raising the right hand towards the ceiling. Lower the right hand back towards the ground. Both hands to the mat, stepping the right foot back into downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the hand, step the left foot forward. Right foot comes in 3 to 4 inches and the heel turns in towards the center. Left leg is nice and straight. And we're drawing the left hip back so that way our hips can square up over the left quad and we can fold forward, really feeling that stretch down through the back of the leg. Inhale here, raise the chest up, and then bring the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Taking a pause there. And then bringing the left hand to the outside of the left hip. And you can use this hand here to push the left hip towards the back of the room. A way to help assist those hips towards turning into the left leg. Good, and then from there, bringing the left arm up and opening the chest to the left, taking the gaze out towards the side or up towards the left hand. Lower the left hand. Bring both hands to the ground and step the left foot back in a downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank. Bend the elbows and lower the body towards the mat. Feet flat. Walk the hands out at a diagonal and push up into cobra from here. Good. Exhale the body down onto the mat. Open your arms up into this T position. Turn the palm of the right hand up towards the ceiling so the shoulder rotates into the mat. Draw in the left hand and then roll over your right body, kicking the left leg behind you. Use the weight of the left hand to push into the ground, bringing a greater stretch into that right shoulder. Good. Roll back through center. Straighten the left arm out to the side. Shoulder turns into the mat as the palm turns up towards the ceiling. Right hand draws in. Right leg swings behind. Sole of the foot finds the mat. And we come into the shoulder stretch on the opposite side. Use the fingertips of the right hand to push into the ground, finding a deeper stretch. Good. Bring the right leg back down, chest to the mat, and then draw both forearms under the upper body, coming into Sphinx. So the shoulders are just over the elbows here. Forearms are turned flat on the mat with the hands down. And we're pulling back through the arms and pulling the chest through, giving this nice stretch and chance for the back to extend after those forward folds. Good. Left arm slides through as we roll over onto our back. Draw both knees in towards the chest. Hi. I have a little helper. You can't see him. He's just above my head. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Let the knees drop over to the left as our right arm extends out to the side, and we can leave our gaze towards the ceiling or turn the head to look over the right hand. Bring the gaze back up to the center if your head was turned. Draw the knees back into the chest. Right hand comes outside the left knee and the legs drop over to the opposite side, extending through the left hand and taking the gaze either up towards the ceiling or out over the left fingertips. Bringing the gaze back up if the head was turned. Both knees, one last hug into the body. And then extend one leg at a time. Coming into corpse pose or shavasana to rest. Letting both feet fall open. Both hands uncurl. And allowing yourself to rest here for several minutes before bringing motion into your fingers and toes and starting your weekend. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and I wish you a Happy New Year. I will be seeing you on video again next weekend. Have a wonderful week.